Welcome back, guys. Episode 3.
Welcome.
We
How's it going?
apologize for the delayed release. I was a little under the weather. I had some norovirus. I was puking up.
As long as you're good.
And yeah, our fault, guys. So, brand new episode. This is sort of a continuation from episode 2. Today, we're talking about JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Let's go.
And I want to start us off by apologizing to everyone because I know I did say that JJK was mid last week. So I'm going to get up and bow to you guys. I apologize. Truly. I'm sorry. Reread JJK this past week, and it's pretty phenomenal.
That's good.
It has some points where it's a little annoying, but it's a pretty goddamn good manga. And I apologize.
Let's go. Like, here's the thing. Like, I only watched the anime. I haven't really read it yet. But the reason why I know it was really good. Well, when the first season came out, it came out the same time as God of High School.
Okay.
So God of High School is very, not similar as far as the world building, but as far as their fight scenes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of my main thing about like animes, I love like animes that goes kind of like hard when it comes to animation, and JJK was like that from the beginning, right?
Yep.
God of High School was the same. So I remember I was kind of comparing both of them, but it's kind of unfair because Jujutsu Kaisen, the more the story progress, at least from season 1 and season 2, like the world gets more in depth, and then the fight scenes get even more crazier.
Yeah, detailed.
So
definitely.
And then I have friends, of course, that reads the manga. I've been wanting to. I get into this other. I'm gonna watch this other anime. And I just never got to it. But all they're saying is positive notes. They're just saying like it goes crazy, like the fucking. What you call that? The story, and then you always hear spoilers. This person did that. This person that happened to this other person. I'm like, God damn! I want to read more to it, but I'll probably read to it like later on. And what's your thoughts? I guess on finish. Did you finish it? I'm not sure if you finished it.
So spoilers if no one knows this, but obviously everyone knows in the manga. And JJK is one of like I think the top 25 best-selling mangas of all time already. And I'm pretty sure, and I know a lot of people watching the anime, they started reading the manga because they didn't want to wait. But I'm sort of stuck. I'm at the point where Gojo is fighting Sukuna.
Okay.
And I feel like most people already know Gojo passes away in the fight. And I can't bring myself to read past that point because it's goddamn Gojo, you know? So yeah, I'm at the 230 chapter around the area.
I heard it's like 260, I think 250 or something like that.
No, right now there's 260 chapters out right now.
Okay.
And a super spoiler, and I'll be honest, this is actual spoiler because I don't know if anyone's caught up to 260, which is what it's out right now.
It's a spoiler to me.
Yeah, it's a spoiler to you, but I don't care about. No, I'm kidding. But supposedly Gojo comes back.
Okay.
So because I just heard about it, I'm just gonna catch up and just finish it up, even though it's gonna be very excruciating for me to see that beautiful man Gojo get destroyed.
Okay.
But one thing before we continue, going back to God of High School. God of High School is a manhwa, and I've read like a shit ton of manhwas. Yeah. I was going through that binge period, and I don't know what it is about God of High School, but at the time I read it, it's very what's the word? It's very addicting. It's color, you're like right. Any typical manhwa, but it doesn't hit the same as, for example, Solo Leveling or that one Chinese manhwa I recommended, Steal Your Talent or whatever it's called. I don't know what it is. Did you enjoy God of High School?
Yeah. So
no, fine. Let's put it this way. Sorry, God of High School versus Solo Leveling.
Oh no, the Solo Leveling by a good amount. No, what I'm trying to say is like I guess when it came out that time. So during that time, I think I was in the what they call this thing. I was watching a lot of Slice of Life. So like I forgot what else came out. I wish I can remember what I was watching around that time frame, but. I remember when so during that time I lived in California when it came out. I was with my wife and we had a roommate, and then me and we had like a anime night. So shout out to KJ. He's a big anime guy too. So three of us, KJ, me, and my wife, we would watch anime like a certain day. And I remember we had like so much like new animes that we had to watch every week. So I think during that time, God of High School and Jujutsu Kaisen was in the same time frame. We were both so addicted. All three of us were addicted with the when those two came out, because you were like, God damn, the fight scene is crazy. And then we can't help to kind of like compare both of them, right? And then I remember KJ was saying like during that time, God of High School, even my wife, I think God of High School was winning a little bit.
What?
No, when it first came out, like season wasn't done yet.
Okay.
Right? When they were just comparing per episodes. And I was like, no, Jujutsu Kaisen was a little bit more in depth, like in depth with their power system. Which is what I like, right? And then as the time passed by, when the seasons ended, they kind of switched to JJK because it's just there's a little bit more story. The problem that I have with God of High School was it was really good because like from the get-go, episode 1, you start off going to this tournament right away, and it's just ham.
Yeah, people love like, tournaments. They love versing.
Fight. They just fight right away, and then we get to see that the main character shows off all this cool athletic like agility type of like moves. Fight, and then he goes hard. But the problem was it almost felt like the story was so quick. Yeah, like it's good, it's really good, but you can't put it on the same level just because. I don't know. Maybe the manga goes later. Like I don't know how far or how good it'll get. But at least from my perspective in season 1, it's not there on the super top animes. Just because it wasn't impactful enough. The fight scenes alone can't just bring you to one of the best animes.
Right, I get you right saying. There. It has to be like. Because if I remember, it's been a while. It's been like I think 5-6 years since I read it. But isn't like, what's the power system in that?
It's like based on Chinese, I believe.
Right, Chinese folklore, right?
Right.
Like the main character, he's based off of the Monkey King, isn't he?
No. Was he? He was. He is. Right? He is.
I swear he was based on right.
He was based on the Monkey King because he had the staff in the end.
Right. He has like the tiara kind of thing.
Like that, he basically has the strongest one out of all the one that you can. I don't know if you call it summon, but their spirit basically. They have like some type of like spirit that they have to like get acquainted with, and they kind of join you. Yeah, something like that.
You're right.
But it's been a while, so I have to kind of revisit that. But all I remember was I did love it when it first came out because it's just nonstop fighting.
Right. People enjoy that.
Yeah.
No, if I remember right, like the manhwa, it fits your stereotypical manhwa. It's just action.
Yeah.
It doesn't really delve into like how the the power system is created. It's just you have this, go.
Right.
That's what I feel like. But yeah, going back to JJK after reading it, and I still haven't watched the anime.
Yeah. So sorry about this, but what they call this? That's what makes a little bit that's what makes Solo Leveling a little bit better in all of I guess than most of the manga that you're talking about. Manhwa that you've mentioned is that the power system of how he got the power and everything was great to me. You know what I mean? Like the power, it wasn't just all fight scenes. We were learning about how he's getting them. And
right.
Everybody's. There's a SA, there's a ranking system.
Yeah, ranking systems. Right.
So they probably have that in God of High School, but I'm just saying like Solo Leveling was impactful because it focuses on multiple other aspects, not just like because Solo Leveling's fight scenes are also crazy, right?
Right.
So yeah, so I just wanted to say that.
No, you're right too, because in all honesty, if I were to sit down and I'm like, I want to reread something, I would reread Solo Leveling in a heartbeat.
Right.
God of High School, to be honest, I haven't even really thought about it until you just spoke about it. Like I don't know what it is. I got off high school, just didn't really. Anyways,
Well, next week you might bow again.
I know,
I'm just
right?
joking.
I'll reread God of High School. I'll bow again. Quick
Okay,
thing.
go ahead.
Hold on. Quick thing. We'll edit this out. Sorry, I gotta pee again.
Okay, no worries.
My bad. I'll be right back.
That's what you get for drinking so much.
Yeah, my bad. We can
That's
edit
it.
it
You're
out.
good. It's not a big deal. Yeah, you
So-
can. Yeah.
Yeah. Back to JJK. So one of the main differences one of my problems, in all honesty, when I was reading manga, and I've read thousands of manga, is because I read so much and I'm trying to get through as fast as I can so I can go on to the next series, is I really don't pay attention. And I feel like one of the issues that when I read JJK back in, what was it, 2018? That's when it first came out, 2018, 2019, was I just read through it. And
It wasn't a lot at that time, I'm guessing.
yeah, it was like 30, 40 chapters, but
Yeah.
at the time, I still like read through it. And another major problem of mine is, in my brain, and I know this is such a weird excuse, when it comes to like learning names in a different language, unless it's like the main character, right? Like, for example, Naruto. I can give you Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, other major characters, but then if like the bug guy, do you remember the bug guy in Naruto?
Yeah.
See, you know it. I have no idea. In my mind, it's the bug
Wait,
guy.
I might get what you call this? Heat for that, but I think it is Shino.
Okay, and then the guy that was on Hinata's team, where he was the wolf guy, the guy with his dog buddy.
Oh, that's Kiba.
See, that's how I describe him though. The guy on Hinata's team with the dog. And it's such. And the one good thing I loved about JJK is a lot of the major characters have 4-letter names: Gojo, Tojo, Yuji. And it's very simple for me to remember.
And then there's Jogo.
And there's Jogo, right?
Gojo and Jogo.
For the longest time, and I know I sound like an idiot, I was like Gojo and Jogo. I got them confused. I was like, who the hell is Jogo? And I'm like,
before?
Yeah, before. But I made it a priority now to really focus and to really pay attention. And when I read through the manga, because you know how there's like a first name and a surname, right?
Right.
In Japanese culture, they tend to call people that they know by the surname instead of the first name. So like when they called son of a bitch, I already like almost forgot. Like Megumi, right?
Oh yeah.
When they call him by, fuck me. Look, I already. What's his surname?
Megumi. I forgot. Oh, Fushiguro.
See, you got it like immediately.
Damn it! I even forgot.
And I try so hard. And when they throw in like the surname, like the last name, I'm like, who the fuck are you guys talking about? And then I'm like, oh my god, of course it's this guy. But anyways, my point is I apologize because it's not that I don't seem like an expert in what we're talking about. It's just my mind, it wanders. I have really bad like attention deficit problems where I can literally read through a whole chapter sometimes and my brain's on autopilot. And subconsciously, I know what's happening through the chapter. But if someone was to ask me like specific character names, or specific moves, I have no idea. But anyway,
I'm the same. But I guess I'm a little bit better with how you're explaining it. I can remember most of the animes or most of the some of the mangas I read, but if it's a while ago, I just kind of forget. I like what you said. I can describe them and tell you their powers, but if it's a while ago, I just kind of forgot.
I mean, you have a better memory than me. You knew the Kiba guy from Naruto, and I think one thing is like with animes, they say the names, so you're constantly hearing it, and it solidifies that character in your mind. But like when you're reading manga,
you're just reading it.
You're just reading it in your mind, right? And it doesn't really. Anyways, and this isn't like this is majority my problem, but like, for example, like in Black Clover, because it was more European medieval style, and they use like westernized names, I can remember them so much better. But like in Black Clover,
Oh yeah, like for example, like you were the one helping me remember their name when we were talking about that one anime, the Vinland Saga.
yeah, Villain Saga. Yeah, it's like European names, and I can I can remember those. And like in Black Clover, there's Yami, right? But it's a 4-letter word, so I can remember that. But then I know it's not there in the anime just yet, but in the manga, Asta gets sort of sent to Yami's homeland.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everyone's name is Japanese.
Oh.
And all of a sudden, I have no idea what's happening. Like, I could not tell you the characters.
Wait, they went to. I mean, I never read it yet. I mean, I read it before the anime caught up, and I'm not caught up with the manga anymore. But they went to Japan. I mean, not Japan.
Yeah, Land of the Sun, which is referencing
they
Japan.
go there?
Only Asta.
Oh,
He gets yeeted over there through some type of transportation. Anyways, I don't want to talk more. I don't want to spoil any more of it. But yeah, he gets transferred. And the crazy
I want to
thing
read it. I want to read it now.
Asta meets Yami's sister.
Did
little
they
sister.
like each other?
No, she's like a hard ass. But anyways, let's go back to JJK. I just want to talk about it a little more. Great manga. The art is beautiful. It really immerses you into the fight scenes. It really grasps you, and you really delve in and you try to understand the whole world. World building is great, but in all honesty, yeah, character development is great. Our system's great, but where the anime stopped in season 2, where Geto releases all the cursed spirits and that he formed like an unbreakable vow, or that vow with all of them. At that point, in my mind, it's simple to understand and it's also sophisticated at the same time. But ever since past that arc, from like I think end of season 2, and we'll see it in season 3, the mangaka Gigi Guga, whatever you want to call him, he took it up to the next level. It's more sophisticated. I literally spent 30 minutes rereading one chapter when it was talking about I don't know if you've seen him in the anime, Kinji. He's a 3rd year at the jiu-jitsu school, but he quit. Anyways,
yeah. Keep going.
Basically, he loves gambling. So his innate curse technique is related to gambling. And for the life of me, I could not understand what was happening. So my whole point is starting from season 3, it's the author got really it's more in depth.
Okay.
And you really need to pay attention.
Yeah.
But going back to the first 2 seasons, loved it. It got me hooked the moment where they were talking about how cursed energy is all the negative emotions and how you can build it in your body and you can utilize that energy to, generate curse techniques or curse manipulation or, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Since we're talking about power system, that's one of my favorite things about anime. So, how would I start this?
It's creative.
Yeah. So most of the animes I watch, I watch almost whatever anime kind of just pops in front of me, and I hear it or I saw it online, whatever it is, and I start watching it. Right, if there's some type of following into it, I like, for the most part, there's really very, very few animes that you watch throughout the end and you're like, oh my god, it's okay, or like it's really bad. Some of them you would enjoy regardless, right? But what draws me in, that puts most anime to the top 10, top 15 animes that I personally love, is power systems. Power system for me is very important, like when you're building this type of world, because a lot of questions that you normally would ask can be answered by power systems. Like, how did he get that power? Like, why is he so strong? Or like, how could he overcome that boss? And then through power system, I don't know, there's just so much depth into power systems that for me it's so important for an anime. And Jujutsu Kaisen is a great example of that, right? You're talking about curses. That's such a good way to build, because every anime that's like pretty big has this power system, like chakra, Nen.
Like a shonen animes, yeah.
Right, like what is it in Bleach again? What is it called?
They're all Shinigami, so it's like spirit energy.
I forgot what it's called.
I believe it's spirit energy.
And then
And
Ki in Dragon Ball. And Curse is such a good take to it. I think it's such a good add-on to this world, you know.
No, yeah, definitely. And I really resonate with it because it's interesting to see the manipulation, because curse energy at the end of the day is negative emotion, right? So anger, anything negative, anger, jealousy, doubt, and then you just pain, right? And you just channel it into like, what's it called? It's a negative energy, and you got to output it out of the body. So they utilize all that rage, all that negative emotion, and they can just channel it into doing something. Even with the domain expansion, curse techniques, curse manipulation, and that's how like curse spirits form too, right? Because I found it so interesting, for example, how and what I didn't like is I feel like they'll elaborate on it more, but from what I've read, it seemed like only Japan had curse sorcerers or curse users. But to me, that shrinks.
Is it only?
They said in the manga that there are cursed sorcerers, right? Cursed sorcerers are like the good guys, right? Like Yuji, Megumi,
right?
And then there are cursed users. Cursed users are bad guys. They're antagonists. They're like the evil version of cursed sorcerers. And from what I've read, it seemed like the majority of cursed users and cursed sorcerers only exist in Japan. There are only a few worldwide.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
And it's really, and I feel like that it shrinks the world building, because how can you only have these types of humans or these types of antagonists in one specific country in the entire world?
Maybe they will later on, or unless they mentioned it, like you said.
We'll see. I have 40 more chapters to read, give or take, so maybe there are, but for now, it doesn't really seem like it.
Right.
Anyways, going back to what I was saying, how like I really love the idea that also how they were saying how like cursed spirits are usually formed around areas where there's a large grouping. For example, schools, hospitals.
Right.
But for like hospitals, right, you can imagine you are fearing death. You're feeling a certain type of fear because you might be dying. And through that type of emotion, it forms an entity or a being where they encompass all of that idea. So, for example, like Tojo, right? Tojo was...
Toji.
No, Jogo. Sorry, my bad. Jogo. Jogo, right? See, my problem. Anyways, Jogo, right? Jogo is pretty much a volcano. Right. Even with his domain expansion, he forms just like a burning area. And he was formed because of humans fearing volcanoes. Right. That's genius to me. That's such a simple concept. Yeah. But it makes sense because even the real world, back in the olden days, if you take a look at the Greek gods, right? Back then, humans didn't have the knowledge or the science or whatever to explain certain natural phenomena. So instead, they gave each natural phenomenon a god. So Zeus was lightning, Apollo was the sun, etc., etc. Yeah. So I really enjoyed that, and it's crazy that I missed that the first time I was reading it through. But like I said, I slowed it down, and I truly appreciate what the mangaka was trying to do within the power system of JJK.
Like, it makes sense, right?
Yeah, and I love it when it makes sense.
Yeah, like for example, like Sukuna in general, like the Sukuna, the way he was made, to me, it's so good. Like,
what do you mean?
So Sukuna was made because people was fearing almost like an unbeatable evil god, like a cursed god, and that's how he was formed, because everyone was imagining or like fearing somebody who's so strong.
No.
Because Sukuna was a person, right? I know
human,
that, right? So he was born, and then they defeated him because what they call this thing. Sukuna was a normal person, but because I'm not in there yet, right? This is just my research, and all these sorcerers beat him, and then when he passed away, then his cursed energy from that form. Am I correct or am I wrong on that one?
No, Sukuna wiped out everyone,
Right.
but he had the ability to make himself into a cursed object. He had the knowledge where he can elongate his life by changing himself into a cursed object. That's why there's 20 fingers, because he has 4 arms.
Yeah.
That's what happened. It wasn't the fact that people imagined him.
Well, I thought that's what it was from what I
No.
read.
I mean, from my understanding, it was the fact that he was a cursed object.
Okay.
Or not a cursed object, that he knew how, like, when his life was over, he knew how to change himself into like a cursed object to make him exist through the ages.
Okay. So from that's just how from what I understanding was, like, when he died, when they defeated him, because everybody was fighting him, right, at a certain point.
Yeah, 1,000 years ago, but he wiped out all the Jujutsu sorcerers.
Is that what happened? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't read it, so yeah. But regardless, I guess
it could be. Yeah, you're right. It might be more. It probably elaborates on it in the manga past season 2 in the anime. That's probably why.
Okay. Well, like I said, I don't know. I wish I can back you up, and I'm not super confident with it. But when I just read that, like, because I was reading about my main reason why I'm talking about that, because I was sorry. Let me recap. One of the main reason why I was talking about that, because I was reading about that. I wanted to understand where all this big names come from, right? Like you mentioned, Jogo was from a volcano, and what about that? What about that curse? That was the one they fought, Yuji and
Todo?
the brother. Yeah, Todo.
Excuse me. Yeah, it was Hugumi.
Yeah. What is the name?
I think it's Hugumi. Hugumi. What was it? Hugumi? Was it Harumi? Anyways, the cursed spear,
The forest one.
Yeah,
right?
it was the forest one, because they were stating how humans, back in the old days, feared this massive land of forest because you don't know what's like in there.
Yeah.
The mystery of it. So yeah, that was really interesting too. No, but
it's Hanami.
Hanami.
That's what
my
it
yeah.
Yeah.
Hanami.
I was about to search and then it registered. But yeah, Hanami, yeah, that's one of the things. So I really like that all this major curses that we're trying to defeat is literally from the biggest fears of human beings. But it's interesting.
But at the same time, it's okay. In all honesty, one of the biggest fears of humans, in my honest opinion, is the unknown. So darkness. So it really blows my mind that, besides, I know Megumi has his shadow technique where he can raise up 10 Shikagamis, right?
Right.
But there's no character to me where they really embrace darkness. And to me, and even when you're a little kid, right? It's innate. I feel like it's almost instinctual for humans, where we're just scared of the dark.
What if that's the main boss?
Right?
Later
but
on.
I wish they wish they could have incorporated that into it. Or, for example, what's it called? Trypophobia? The fear of holes. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Like, what?
It probably showed up.
No, I'm pretty sure it hasn't.
No, what I'm trying to say, it probably showed up in the world, but it's not in the manga.
That's what I understand. Like, you would think, or for example, like Japan, right? Earthquakes. I guess that's Tojo. I guess Tojo can be related to earthquakes. Tsunamis.
Who's Tojo?
Jogo. Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry.
Oh
Yeah, Jogo. Jogo, right? He's the volcano one, but at the same time, he can also do like little earthquakes, and I feel like that's also incorporated in it. But like,
right,
Japan has always had a problem with tsunamis too, right? Tidal waves and stuff. Why isn't there something about that?
There's probably. There's probably.
There's a couple of like plot holes which I feel like they should have incorporated. But anyways, I digress. I'm just being nitpicky at this point.
Yeah, but it's such a what you call that, crazy anime to begin with. But
there's a lot of like plot armor too. This is in the manga right now, but Geto, right?
Right. Wait,
Geto,
the Geto or the one inside him?
the one inside him. Jesus, I can't remember his name.
Damn
right
it.
now.
I have the character. I have it on tab. What the hell?
Kenjaku.
Just Kenjaku. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, Kenjaku, the one that has the stitching because he can transplant his brains and stuff, right? So there's the one plot armor where or whatever, I'm gonna call him Geto because it's easier to say, or Geto, wherever. He fights a character, Yuki. Do you remember that character? She's like a blonde. She's in the flashback. Okay, so her ability is mass. So her curse technique, she can increase mass.
Wait, she's anime yet?
She should be an anime because she went up to Guido and she was like, "What kind of girls do you like?" I don't know if you remember that part. Once again, I haven't watched the anime, so I don't know if that's referenced in it. But anyways, what I don't.
Oh yeah, she did show up.
She did show up. Right? Okay.
She was in the flashback.
Yeah, she's a special grade sorcerer. So in the manga, they finally reveal her curse technique, which is mass, right? So she can increase mass. Now, if you understand anything about mass, the greater the mass, eventually that mass will collapse and form a black hole. Okay, that's how supernovas, how eventually when the sun collapses on itself, it forms a super dense mass where it makes a black hole. So when you think of a black hole, okay, not a lot of things lose to black holes, right? Black holes the gravitational force is so strong, it even sucks up light.
Yep.
So when Yuki was versing Guido, right, she gets defeated, and one of her final moves, it's like a sacrificial move, she pretty much makes a black hole. Okay, and I'm going tangent on this, but Guido in the past,
I think it's pronounced Geto.
Geto in the past took over Yuji's mom's body.
Yeah. Kenjaku. What is his name again?
Kenjaku is the bad guy that's taking over Geto right now. But
yeah, so Kenjaku took over the mom. Yes.
Right. Kaori or something.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know what? this is what I don't like, because I hate these types of plot armors where they have to make an antagonist live longer so they can fulfill the role in the manga itself. So whenever Geto takes over a body, right, he also inherits the curse techniques.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Yuji's mom, when he took over her body, her curse technique is anti-gravity, which is the complete antithesis of mass, right? Because mass, the more mass, black hole, gravity, right?
Yeah.
So the ability that he inherited from Yuji's mom is anti-gravity.
Oh, she keeps it? She keeps the power?
He keeps the power, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Just like how Geto is really good at curse manipulation, right? Where he can take over cursed spirits. He inherited that too. Anyway,
I didn't know that.
The whole annoying thing is he takes over the power from Yuji's mom, which is anti-gravity. By having that ability, he counteracts Yuki's final move, which is to form a black hole. Like it's too perfect. And I understand why they need Geto to keep living for a little longer to fulfill his role in the manga.
Yeah.
But it's too perfect. And that's one thing that's one of the things that I didn't like about the manga.
Yeah. I see.
Well, sorry.
Well, I guess it does happen, but yeah, I mean, yeah, curses in general, such a fun concept to play with. I guess what the mangaka did. But is there any other anime, I guess, that you like with the power system, or even manhwa?
Well, no, I was actually gonna go tangent about JJK because, like, the whole concept of how you can take a negative emotion and utilize power, right? Sorry. So one thing that I think about specifically is rage, right? Because you can take anger and utilize it.
Right.
And it was crazy because when I was reading the manga, right, I thought of an old manga that I read in the past, and it doesn't really have a power system. It's more of it's more based on real life. It's called Sukadechi 9.
Okay.
Sukadechi 9 was very unique to me, and it'll always stay in the back of my head because, and once again, disclaimer, I'm not a psychopath. I have to say this one more time because what I'm about to say is going to freak some people out. Sukadechi 9 is a very interesting concept. And fucking fun fact, the mangaka of Sukadechi 9 is the twin brother of the author of Naruto.
Wait, what?
So Naruto's author
has
a twin brother.
That's pretty cool.
and he's also a mangaka. But because Naruto took off, this brother, he has written quite a bit of manga, but it just hasn't gotten the same type of attention because he's sort of overshadowed by his brother Naruto. But you should definitely read Sukudachi 9. It sort of got canceled after I think 25 chapters, but the concept is ingenious to me.
What is it?
So Sukudachi 9 is a elite team of people, okay? And once again, I'm going to say this one more time because people are going to freak out. I'm not a psychopath. It's just very interesting to me. It's a special team that enforces death sentences on people, okay? But it's unique because, okay, let's take, for example, like in the United States, right? Let's say you're a serial killer, okay? And
this is in Earth.
Yeah, this is not real world.
Yeah.
And let's say your MO, your unique, whatever, killing, the way to kill people is, I don't know.
Strangle.
Yeah, strangle, right? So what this team does is they perform executions on these type of people. But the way they execute you is the way how you got into jail. So let's say you're a serial killer and you strangle people. Your execution is also to be strangled to death.
What was the manga about? Well, why is it all about just killing ex-cons? I mean, convicts.
Because the main character, something happened to him when he was young. Like his family was involved in some type of accident, and he believed the justice system wasn't fair because for the criminal to perform a certain thing, right? They don't have remorse, they don't have empathy. They just feel like what they did is what they want to do. So what this team does is they put that criminal, that piece of shit, in the same situation until the moment of their goddamn death. And it's, I mean, look.
You're a psychopath.
I am a psychopath. Look, you know, I know everyone has their own beliefs, you know, like execution or whatever, it's not fair and stuff. But at the end of the day, you have to think from the point of the victim's family. Was it fair for the victims to also pass away in that kind of situation?
Right.
And for the family, and the whole point of Sukudachi 9, and this is a crazy thing, the person that executes the criminal, the victim's family wears like a VR goggle and watches.
Oh my god!
As the criminal dies. I know it's fucking dark. I'm sorry. Hey, JJK is also goddamn dark. Okay. But
fucking killing all the fucking main characters. I fucking hate
seriously.
JJK.
That was so annoying.
I don't hate JJK. I'm just saying.
But yeah, Sukudachi 9. Read it. I respect it. Another fucking fun fact. Did you know in Japan, when it comes to death sentences, okay, so like in the United States, if you have a death sentence, they will give you a date, and that is the day you die.
Yeah.
In Japan, they don't tell you the day that you die.
What the hell?
The reason they do that is to make them suffer, because every day that they wake up, that could be your last fucking day on Earth.
That's crazy.
That's not crazy. That is, hey, once again, I'm gonna say it for the third time, I'm not a psychopath. But that's fair. You know,
because, I get it.
Because think about it. When that criminal took someone's life, that victim's life, did that victim wake up thinking that was their last day on Earth? No.
You're right.
So you should experience the same fucking thing.
No, I guess what it meant is like, that's a crazy concept. But you're right. That's I guess it's almost like a payback, you know? Like, this is what you get. Yeah.
And one other thing, if you guys are interested in the manga, the mangaka wrote a manga around the same time Naruto was released. It's called 666 Satan, and it's pretty good. I know that sounds weird, but yeah, 666 Satan. Yeah, same mangaka.
Bro, the more you talk about all your favorite animes, everybody's gonna think you're freaking psycho. I'm just joking.
I'll tell you this, and I've told my girl this too, and she thinks I'm crazy, but if we lived in a world where names didn't really matter, I would name my kid goddamn Lucifer.
My gosh.
You know why? Do you know how beautiful the name Lucifer is? The actual translation?
Beautiful.
It is.
Freaking.
Look, Lucifer, the only reason why Lucifer is such a looked down upon name is because it's correlated with Satan, right? He's the
Right.
fallen angel. He listens to God. La 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 la. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But the name Lucifer, it is a beautiful name. You know why, right? Because it means the name Lucifer means morning star.
I don't even know. Like,
I know.
For me, I mean, you're right. Since it's involved with Satan.
Yeah, it's the stigma.
Like-
it's because it's a okay. I always give this example in the Bible. Okay, the snake is looked because Satan took the image of a snake to confuse what's her name, Eve, to eat an apple from the Garden of Eden.
Right.
And when you think of snakes are like from a mystical standpoint, they're very evil, right? Because they're snakes. They were in the Bible. Well, think of it like this. What if whoever wrote the Bible was like, you know what? Satan took the image of a giraffe. And then everyone would be like, oh my God, giraffes are evil. I'm serious.
Well, I don't like snakes because they're poisonous. So.
Well, you know, I get it too. But because of history and how we, you know...
It does add. Yeah.
Right. We recognize certain names and certain things. But yeah, if I could, in a world where it did not judge what I named my kid, Lucifer. Lucy for short. Lucy for short, see? If people feel offended, they could just be like, yeah, my name is Lucy. I've already thought this out very thoroughly.
Don't. Please. I don't want to go to your kid's freaking first birthday
happy
party.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. How does the song go?
Happy
Dear
birthday,
Lucifer. That'd be amazing.
You're crazy.
And,
okay.
and instead of her age, it'll be 666 on the cake.
Drop. But going back to power systems and animes, you know, getting away from your Lucifer kid. One of my favorite power system, I believe, is the Nen ability. You know, we're moving to kind of like Hunter x Hunter here. Nen to me is, ever since I was a kid, I was always drawn to how it was. So I first watched Hunter x Hunter when I was in the Philippines. I believe it was dubbed. I forgot, but they didn't change the name. It was still Gon, Killua, and things.
And the crazy thing is, you also love Yu Yu Hakusho, which is the same
yes.
author.
Exactly. Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho's power system is pretty fun too.
Yeah.
But anyway, I first watched it the original version, like the before the 2011 Hunter x Hunter. I was already kind of like very interested with that to begin with. Like when they kind of go in depth early on, because you know how like they kind of talk about it, like Jujutsu Kaisen, they talk about it in the beginning, but they kind of talk about it more in depth, like you said, from where you at. I think it explains more about it. Hunter was kind of explained almost right away from the beginning when they went to the Angel Arena. When they got to the highest floor, like the 200 floor and above, Hisoka was like projecting like this aura. And during this time, what I love about the Hunter x Hunter, we had no idea what it was, because from like the Hunter exam and all of those stuff, they were just kind of showing what they know, like as far as combat.
Yeah.
And it's like pretty typical normal combat, except you know there's some people with the with other abilities like bows and I think during that time Illumi, Killua's brother, we know he was using some type of like needles, right?
Yeah.
But the moment it was explained, everything kind of just opened up. I think that's what made me love it. Like, why is Hisoka able to stop Gon and Killua from entering the 200 floor and above? What is this power? And then they finally talked about Nen, and you know there's like 6 categories, and I kind of dived deep right away when I was younger, you know. And then they go to Great Island. Then they even go more in depth with what's her name again? Biscuit. I think.
Old lady, right?
Yeah.
The old lady
that was her old lady. She's gonna
ancient lady. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. See, I don't know the name, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. She was like the sensei for Killua and Gon, right? Yeah.
Right. Oh, talking about Great Island too. Great Island was one of my favorite arcs.
Great Island was one of the best. The moment they said they got sucked into a video game, I was like, all right, I'm all in. Let's do this.
yeah, and it's like very video game concept too, right?
It was
Yeah,
amazing how they had like what was it? It's been so long. But yeah, Greed Island where they had to collect like certain cards and they can like use the cards to utilize certain abilities. But there was only like a set amount of cards, right?
right.
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah,
Because
like you have to collect, because the main goal of the game is to to beat the game. You have to collect all the cards,
right, it's like
and
fucking
they're
Pokemon.
not easy. Yeah, and they're like you can obtain them by quest or defeating
Right,
certain monsters or like triggering an event.
It's like fucking Pokemon.
Greed-
I'm telling you, I feel like this was like the original Pokemon.
Yeah, it's such a cool concept, right? And then during this time, I wasn't really into isekai or any
Video game,
type of,
game related RPG
Right,
elements kind of thing.
like all the animes I watched this time was like, Slam Dunk,
Cowboy
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Bebop, yeah.
Yeah, like they all had their own world. Naruto, all they had their own system. So I think I believe Grid Island was so good that's what made me like the current animes I like. I'm pretty basic, guys. I like isekai. One of the main reason is because I like the gaming concept of animes. Like you level up and exactly.
You gain new abilities. It's fun.
And then that's normally the recipe for an isekai anyway.
Yeah.
One of the first one I've ever read was Log Horizon, right? So I mean, not read, watch was Log Horizon. When I still remember when it came out, the first episode. Oh, actually, sorry, let me scratch that. The first one I've watched was Sword Art Online.
Oh,
that was
course.
everybody's.
That's everybody's, yeah.
Yeah, that's everybody's entry to like isekai type gaming type of like world, right? And I liked it. Everybody liked it, during that time. But I remember when they released Log Horizon, my favorite part about it was more in depth of their power and the gaming concept compared to like SAO, because SAO was more of the storyline, right?
Yeah, I guess
that's just how I viewed it. I might be wrong, but I remember Log Horizon from the get-go. They were talking about his skill level and him understanding the party. And for people that plays MMORPG, that's so fun. He's basically the what
he's like the clan leader. He's like the general. He's the intellectual one. He knows where to put everyone.
Exactly, because like he was always a solo player when the game was on before they got transported there, and he's always like a very smart guy, right? So when he was on this when he was playing solo, he would only join parties. He would never join guilds. Okay. And one of the parties that he joined was one of the most what they call this thing, successful and strongest party in this game's history. And it was like, I think it's like something tea party. That's what it was called. Like douche no douche Dewberry, or I don't know. I wish I remember. It's been a while, but it was like tea party, something like that. And he was like the main strategist for that party. And it's crazy because he's not even the strongest. He wasn't the offensive guy. Like he wasn't the strongest damage dealer or the tankiest tank.
Right.
But he was the main reason why they're winning. And I really like that because they kind of shows it. He can see all the freaking life bars of everybody, and he's like controlling. He's putting buffs. It's just, for me, that's what kind of got me into it. And throughout my whole life, I've kind of like looked for those concepts, and that's what made me love isekai.
It's addicting. It's because like what we said in previous episodes, I feel like most manga or anime watchers, we're a little dorky, we're a little geeky. We love we love gaming, right? So to incorporate that into a life where it's like in real life and it's actually like, can you imagine? Like right now we're talking, right? And I'm like, give me a second. I just leveled up and I just pressed something. I'm like, Jared, which move should I pick? Should I pick this or that? That just sounds amazing. You have like a little status bar right here.
Well, that's why we play games.
That's true.
So we can experience it.
Exactly.
So to watch it, it's even pretty good. Going back to Hunter x Hunter, the power system. My gosh, it's one of the most intricate, detailed power system.
But simple at the same time.
Yes, but simple at the same time. Intricate in like most manga, anime verse. You know what I mean? There's probably more. There's probably something very similar or better, but in my opinion, it's my favorite. Just the concept of it, right? So Nen exists in every single human
organism
alive, right? Like organism. Like it's even sometimes on things like but there's Nen that you can. It's an aura. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's actually
it's your
not
life
Nen.
energy. Yeah,
because Nen is the practice of aura in a way. So aura always leaves your body, right? And the practice of Nen is for you to not release it, because I think from the anime, the way they explain it, it leaks towards your head. So your goal is to
I think there's like a chakra point or something up here.
Yeah,
and it leaks
like
out, right?
A node in there, right? Your goal is to not do that. So you just circulate all over your body, so you can make it like a shield for Nen users as well, to block attacks, and also like just a regular shield from normal attacks, so you can get thrown, by a super strong person and you don't really get hurt that much. And then they even go in depth with like there's 4 for you to become a Nen user, you have to practice 4 things, right? What are the 4 things? Ten, Ren,
Zetsu.
Oh yeah, 10, Ren, Zetsu, and Hatsu.
Yeah.
And 10 is the study. I mean it's basically focusing. Yeah, it's you concentrating so you can stop that flow, right? Like that flow, so you can just embody into your.
It forms an aura around you, pretty much.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And then Ren is the ability to shoot out those aura.
I thought Ren was enhanced.
No, so Ren is basically you opening up your node so it can release it.
Oh, okay.
That's what Ren is.
It's to strengthen. That's what it was.
Correct. So, but it's not really used technically for like offense. It was used most of the time. Ren was used as a practice to scare people. Like, for example, when Hisoka was stopping Killua and Gon from entering the 200 levels, he was producing a bunch of Ren to them, so they can't. So because they feel it, but they don't know what it is.
Right.
And then he adds, because you can add emotions to it, so he's adding malice to it. That's why it was hard for them to
get by because of that. To get malice.
By. Exactly. Cool. Like they were sweating, when they're walking. And then Zetsu is the ability to turn it off.
Nice, suppress.
To close all your nodes so you don't leak. I mean, not you don't leak, so you don't use it. It's normally used to,
right?
Yes,
yeah.
But there's a weird thing about it. Exactly. There's a weird thing about it. They said it's not, if you're an end user and then you're trying to get away from somebody, it's not smart to just use Zetsu, because Nen users always feel all the Nens around them. So if there's just a point, if there is a entity that just vanished because they use Zetsu, then you'll be noticed as well, because they know that just vanished out of thin air.
Okay.
That's why Zetsu is not normally used. It's good to, if you're entering something, you can use Zetsu, and then Hatsu is basically the use of Nen, and then Hatsu basically the ability to use it. Not really the release, but for you to use it. And then Hatsu becomes, that's when they kind of go in depth with like the 6 categories, right?
Right.
What do you know about the 6 categories?
So we've got Enhancer, like Gon, right? Where he just strengthens himself, right? Very straightforward. Then we've got Emitter, and Emitter is to project Nen from a distance, isn't it?
Correct. So, because the whole point... Yeah, so sorry, because the whole point of Nen, this is another layer that why I love Nen so much, because it depends on your nature, So
Okay.
right,
Cool,
like
yeah.
it's Nen develops of how you grew up and how you perceives, I guess, life, I guess, and how how you do it. So if you're like a shooter, like a sniper,
Right.
for the most part you're gonna be an emitter.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And then we've got manipulator, right? Manipulator is controlling objects or people, right?
Controlling things, yeah.
Things, okay.
Yeah, like I guess like
Because I know, like,
anything,
what's that person's name? Shalnark.
Yeah, Shalnark, yeah.
Utilizes like cell phones to control people.
Yes.
Right.
Well, the cell phone is the device for him to control it, but for him to control something, he has to stab him with the remote antenna.
Antenna, right? So okay,
Yeah.
remotely controlled. That makes sense. And then you got transmuter, right? Like Kahlua. Basically, they can mimic a certain element. Like
Yeah,
Kahlua is lightning, right? So
they can change their Nen aura to copy a existing property.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then there's Conjurer, which is Kurapika, the chain, right?
Kurapika,
Kurapika, yeah. And then Specialist, which is
just to add to Conjurer are very unique because they have I think everybody could do this, but Conjurer is just good at it because they can make a condition.
Oh, like no, I remember, but yeah, you're right. I remember Kurapika could make that one condition where who was he versing? Who was that?
The spiders.
No, not the spiders. That really buff guy had a lot of power.
Uvo Fujin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he put a certain condition, and that's what killed?
Well, it kind of stems back a little bit with his hatred with the spiders. So the spiders basically killed his whole clan because they were looking for the Scarlet Eyes, and because that was like a big deal for him. He wanted to his main goal is just to eliminate spiders. That's kind of like his
that's his whole life mission, right? And he made like a vow that he can only kill the spiders, right? Or something like
with
that.
The chains.
With the chains, right.
Yeah.
Right. And that was nice.
So the chain, he conjured the chain. So and then for him to use the chain, he put a thing on his heart where he would stab his heart if he used the chain, and to use the chain other than
kill the spiders.
The stuff that's the only use for the chain.
But every time you verse the spiders, he become like super overpowered
only because of his Scarlet Eyes. So he's still a conjurer, right? So conjurers, that's all he can technically. His change is all his power. But what makes Kahlua so strong? I mean, Kurapika so strong, is because since he's from that clan where the eyes turn red whenever they're angry or shows emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever his eyes turn red, his aura changes. He becomes a specialist, and his specialist power has full 100% control on all the freaking categories. Because his power is the chain, he can now make the chain even overpowered. So the chain, it's not just like in the power system, there's like the 6 categories, right? If you're an enhancer, you can't use the other ones as 100%. The next 2 right next to it, let's say the enhancer, the next 2 would be 60%. The next 2 after that would be 40%, I believe. I think 80, 60, and then 40 on the other the opposite one.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't, except for enhancers, because the other side is specialist, right? But yeah, for him, because he's a conjurer, now he can technically do anything. He's this if his eyes turns red, he can use healing as an enhancer.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of his chains, because he normally can't do it because he normally can't heal as a conjurer,
right?
But because he can make it as an enhancer chain,
right,
he heals his broken arm. And he's also strong because of the enhancer, and he can also emit the attacks, like chain attacks from far, because he can also do that. He basically can just do everything.
He's all 6 categories.
Yeah, whenever he dies. But the only problem is it drains his stamina like crazy.
Right. It's
of course.
last resort.
That's why he was able to beat Uvajin.
Damn, he's broken then.
He's fucking broken, dude. Like the way he just, bro, I've been telling you, the Kurapika versus Uvo. I want to confirm this. I think it's I think I am right. Uvojin.
Yes, it's familiar.
Uvojin. Yeah. I was correct. It just flows weird in my tongue whenever I say it. But anyway, one of my favorite fight scenes, in any anime, because I think I'm biased because Hunter is my favorite anime. But one of my favorite fight scenes is Kurapika versus Uvojin. It's well made the way they fought, and at the same time he was also explaining how Nen works while he's doing it. Yeah, just to kind of like a small recap of what happened was, normally Uvojin can just wreck Kurapika because conjurers are not good with close combat, and Uvojin is one of the best at that. But because he's like a specialist, he can withstand all the attacks, but he was able to camouflage the chains while fighting him, and he didn't know that he's getting trapped with all of this. And then next thing you know, when freaking Kurapika released the invisibility, like I think it's called I think that's what it's called. When he released the Uvojin's like see all the freaking chains, and then next thing you know, it's like he can't move, because one of the properties of it is when you're surrounded by his chain, you can't use Nen. So since he can't use Nen, and then he can just fully punch him with an enhancer punch, fully punching you.
Right, so it's like 400%, right? With no defense.
Yeah, like exactly, with no defense. And then the main reason why he fought Uvojin first is because he wanted to make sure that the strongest spider cannot withstand his punches. So if he can't withstand his punches, then he can just kill everybody easily.
That makes sense, because he's the strongest. Because Uvojin would have the strongest defense.
Exactly, without Nen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then freaking the ending of that fight too was so freaking cool, where like he put a contract on Uvojin, like, you can't lie to me. And then Uvojin didn't give a fuck. He was like, go to hell. Boom, he died. Yeah. It's fucking crazy. What any fight scenes you like from any power systems?
I mean, all power systems are really good. Unique ones, not so much. Because I feel like with power systems, all power systems are unique, right? If you even take, let's just take like Naruto, where you got like taijutsu, genjutsu, and jujutsu, right? And then you've got like Hero Academia, quirks, Demon Slayer with breathing, like what we were talking about last week. Once again, I just enjoy Zenitsu, to be honest with you. Tanjiro's pretty cool in his own way, but you don't really
he can mix, right?
Right, but you can't really see how effective his breathing is until the later chapters.
Yeah,
so probably the next couple of seasons that's gonna be coming out, because season 4 Demon Slayer's out. Episode 2 is supposed to be dropped, I think, today actually.
I didn't even watch it yet, but
that one's gonna be really good. That. A recent anime, excuse me, and I really want to talk about this next week, is Remonster.
Yes, I started watching that.
Remonster, because
it's pretty good. Yeah,
you like it because it's isekai. Right.
And he's overpowered.
Man, he's overpowered, so I like it. But it's really cool because there's like a leveling system in it, right? And he evolves.
They haven't even go in depth with it.
Oh yet, my fault. So. That's right. I don't know where it is in anime, but like he has like the ability. I really enjoyed Remonster. I hate Remonster just for the fact that it literally releases a chapter a month.
Oh wow!
I think that manga came out like in 2012, 2013.
But imagine what Hunter fans are feeling though.
But hey, at least Hunter X. When was Hunter X Hunter released? Like 90s.
Somewhere
right?
in the 90s. Yep.
And at least he tried to consistently release, because right now, what's it at? 500 to 600 chapters? Is that what it's at?
I believe so. I haven't read in a while. I know I got the beginning of the Dark Continent. I got to read it again. I took a pause because he keeps pausing.
Yeah, but
I would read it, and the last chapter was 2 years ago. I'm like, I want to know what happened.
Good news is he's releasing new chapters. He just announced it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
so that's
he
good.
is. So, I'm glad. He's such a good writer.
He is.
But health conditions. I want him to take care of himself first.
Health is always first.
Yeah, of course. But
yeah,
it's one of those, you get to the end of it and then you're like, okay, when is he gonna release the next one? And you read it, it says it was released 2 years ago. I was like, everybody's waiting.
One Piece should do that just to fuck with everyone.
Oh, fuck you,
because
bro.
he's at it's the final arc, right? We're almost there, right?
No.
He should take a break. Apparently, right? But he should take a break for 5 years. That'd be fucking hilarious.
No, dude. You know how much people are complaining already? Like, people are complaining that they literally might pass away before the end of it. They're gonna be like 80 years old.
That's pretty. That would suck.
One of the saddest things sometimes I read in the internet is like when people are like, I'm in the hospital right now, and I heard that I only have like a month to live. One of my biggest wish is like, tell me the ending of One Piece. And I'm that's so sad to think about. Like, you're right though. If you are somewhat, I don't hope this to any with anybody at all. But if you are in the brink of death and you're the biggest One Piece fan, that sucks because you won't know. You really, I mean, there's other things that would suck. You're dying, but I'm just saying, as the anime, I'm just saying the anime aspect of your life would suck.
Yeah,
because you won't know what happens in the end. You know, it is what it is. But
yeah, that got really dark.
Yeah, I know.
Is that what you're gonna do, Jer?
I know. Hey, you're the psychopath here. Okay.
I embrace it.
Yeah, but bottom line is, I wish they don't do that. It's ending, so let's see. I really don't know what the fuck One Piece is. You know.
What's it at right now? I think it's like 1,200 chapters, right?
Something like that.
Isn't it also like 1,200 episodes right now?
I wish I could tell you. I haven't read the anime because my wife wants me to watch the anime with her until we catch up. We're like 3 episodes behind.
Oh, okay.
But I'm trying to catch up, and then when she's like purposely almost doing it for me not to catch up, so I don't read.
Right.
But by the time I catch up with the anime, I want to freaking start reading it because my God, I heard it's freaking crazy where it is in the anime. But I mean, in the manga. Talking about power system, the power system in the freaking One Piece is amazing too. I mean, it's very wide. You can find a lot of loopholes. That's the problem.
Yeah,
but I like it. I mean, Devil Fruit. You know, he could almost make whatever he wants.
Yeah, literally, you can do whatever you want in that system. But I do like how he separates it into the 3 categories.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go with. You know.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And then next thing, like even Luffy's like Devil Fruit, everybody thought it was a paramecia,
right?
Where it just affects his body, right? Like in like a rubber. But that freaking fruit doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
Gomu Gomu, fruit doesn't exist. It's actually a Zoan type.
Mythical grade.
Mythical.
Super mythical grade.
Yeah, like it's literally the most feared fruit in this verse. So yeah, I mean, I kind of love that.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing when Luffy versus like Blackbeard.
Yes.
Right, because Blackbeard's ability, he can take other people's abilities, right?
Right.
When he like took Whitebeard's ability, the whole reality cracking thing.
Right.
I love that.
You know what's crazy about that? Because in this world, you can only have 1 fruit, right?
Right.
But he has technically 2 because he stole it.
So he could have more because you never know. He could have stolen other people's fruit by killing them, right?
Well, we don't know yet, right?
Right.
But here's the thing. The biggest question is, how can he do that if people die normally, if they were to have a Devil Fruit? The biggest thing that people, I don't know if it says in the manga yet. I'm not sure. And like I said, I never read past where the anime is at. But one of the chapters back then, before they went to Skypiea, or I think during the Skypiea arc, he met Blackbeard, and then Blackbeard, the first time he met him was in a bar. They were talking, and then he had a different personality. I think he was arguing with him, like he didn't like him. And then after that, he kind of switched personality, and he was like completely different. He's more thinking now. He's more I don't know the proper word, but basically he changed his personality. So when Luffy and Zoro was walking away, Nami was like, "Who is that?" And then, "Oh, who is he?" And then Luffy was like, "Oh, it's not a he." And then Zoro said, "Yeah, it's a day." So it's kind of funny, but some people are saying like One Piece is so far ahead of its time that it's even trying to
Talk about gender
cater
issues.
to gender equality, but that's not what they're talking about. The reason why he said they, because I think they know that there's two people in there, or two personalities, like a personality disorder type of issue. Not issue, but
maybe because they have dual personalities, they have dual gomos, right? Is that
that's
the whole
why?
That's
the
why,
whole thing.
right?
Yeah. That's what with the whole concept of it.
Or maybe
it's pretty cool.
Or maybe it's two souls, right? Because I feel like
right.
It's not that two personalities can have separate devil fruits. It's two souls. Oh, that's
right.
good.
Right.
So yeah, I understand.
Right.
So I can see, because One Piece is such a goddamn huge ass universe. It's really fun. I can see why it's fun for people to have their own fan theories or to like predict what's gonna happen.
There's so many. You can come up with so many.
That's okay. I will try to finish that manga. I'll try to read 1,200 chapters in a week.
Bro, One Piece is it's such a good world, man.
There's just too much. There's just too much reading.
It is a lot. It is definitely a lot. But and the thing is, like, you get to to the ending, and slowly things are peeling off. Like they're finally releasing information that from the past that would just connect somehow, and you're like, oh my god, like it's just
right.
Yeah, it's just so good. Like One Piece is so good. But anyway, I think do you want to add anything else? But I think that's
it. That's good. That was good.
Yeah, that's a good
my
topic
goal,
in here. But
I don't know. I'll try to read all. Actually, you know what? How many chapters are there right now? Because that's my one goal. There are, as of 1,100 chapters. Yeah, 1,100 chapters. I can do that.
I have to. It's not. Are you gonna start? Where are you gonna start? That's the question.
I'm gonna start from the beginning.
Let's go.
I'm gonna read 1,100 chapters in 7 days.
There's no way.
What is that? That is
7 days.
760 rounded up chapters a day. I can do that.
That's impossible.
Let's say it's 160 chapters.
Well, you don't have to do it like in 7 days, dude. You have your whole life.
Gotta set a goal. If I'm awake for 16 hours, that's about 10 chapters an hour. That's one chapter every 6 minutes.
That's a lot. If I were you, though, I would. You know the story from the beginning. I guess it's good. No, actually, don't skip anything.
From
Just
what
read
I
again.
remember, the last place I read up to is right when he versus Doflamingo. That is the last part I read from all those years. Bro,
that's kind of far.
I know. And it's not like I remember anything before that, like all the special, like specific nuances, different characters. Look,
right.
I can only remember the Straw Hat crew. That's about it. I have no. Oh, I guess I remember Doflamingo.
Yeah, and then you remember Blackbeard.
Yeah, I remember Blackbeard. Oh, hey, there's Whitebeard too. Look at that. Simple.
Oh yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Shanks.
That's like super main characters.
Mihawk, I got that one.
Fucking Shanks. We don't even know shit about Shanks still. Fuck, that's so crazy.
What's the fan theories on
that? Shank. There's so much, but one of the ones I read was Shank is involved with the government.
Oh.
So that might actually even release in the manga. I don't know. But basically, when Shanks was delivering. I mean, Shank had the Gomu Gomu fruit.
Right. I mean,
at that time it was called that, right? He had that fruit. And the whole world, the government know that's such an important fruit. So first of all, how did he get it, right? Like, how did he get the Gomu Gomu no? And then Luffy ate it. So the theory is he was delivering it to the government, but he stopped by in that island and then met Luffy, and
The theory that Shanks has the ability to time travel. Yeah, this is way out left field, but basically,
well, there's already a person like that, so that's he can swim. That's the problem.
that's
So he doesn't have a fruit.
Or maybe he got sent back from the future with the person with the time traveling ability.
It's possible. I mean,
Right? Yeah, look,
But-
if you can control time, that means it's not only you, you can send yourself, you can send other people. Because they were saying that Shanks always showed up at perfectly key points in the manga or anime.
well, that's just because they don't want to fucking show Shanks, which all fucking fan base want. I mean, all the One Piece fan base want.
But yeah, that'll be interesting. I want to see, because when I was reading it up to the Flamingo, I think I only remember seeing him in the beginning of the manga, and that was it. You don't really see Shanks too much, right?
No, there's a whole movie about him.
Oh, really?
He was barely there.
There's a whole movie about him?
No, not about him.
Oh,
It's
okay.
about his daughter.
Shanks has his daughter?
I gotta remember if that's his blood daughter. I think it is his blood daughter, but her name is Yuta, or is it Yuta?
Yeah, it's Yuta.
Yeah, Yuta. That's the whole movie is about. Yuta is a singer. She's
Yeah.
a very popular pop star.
What the fuck?
It's pretty good.
Interesting.
pretty good.
Oh my god,
I like
there's
it.
so... Oh,
You know
it's-
that's crazy
Mhm.
about that? There's so much characters in there that I don't even know if it's canon. Like, here's the thing. I think Yuta is canon, the daughter of Shanks, but I don't think what happened is canon,
No, I get
if I'm not mistaken. But basically we saw powers, like I think Shanks used we saw Shanks in combat. Yeah, I watched it in the theaters. It's pretty dope.
It was the One Piece Red, right?
Yeah, One Piece
And
Red.
how many
yeah.
One Piece movies are there now?
I have a shirt, One Piece Red too.
Of course you do. No, well, how many movies are there now right now in One Piece?
Oh, there's a lot, dude. There's so much One Piece movie, but I think none of them are canon, so I only watch it like on my downtimes.
I like that one One Piece Gold. Was that what it
Yeah,
was?
the one they were all wearing
Like,
like
the Mafia?
cool stuff.
Yeah,
yep,
yeah,
yep.
yeah.
The cool
That,
suits
that
and
was
stuff.
really cool. I like that one.
That was a dope one.
That movie was
Yeah.
like, what, 8 years ago? Like six to eight.
while ago,
A while ago, right?
Yeah.
My god, One Piece. What a legendary.
Yep. But anyway, thank you guys again for listening for our geeky conversations, and I hope you guys keep doing that. Any closing remarks for you?
Nothing really. Like I said, my goal is to finish One Piece by next week. When you
There's
talk about
no
One
way.
Piece.
I mean,
I'll catch up at
I'm not
least.
gonna hold you. Okay, at least catch up. But is
It-
that your next one? That
Yeah. I'll like I said, I do want to talk about Remonster. I think Monster is a fantastic manga during its time, and I'm happy that it finally came out as anime. And I know that's
Yeah.
the anime that you would love to watch. In all honesty,
yeah,
I think,
I mean, that's when I first saw it, I freaking jumped on it right away. Yeah.
But yeah.
But you know what? Because when the first episode came out, I read the manga a little bit.
Oh, you did.
But it's only like for the anime caught up already. The one thing that I've already noticed just from the episode 1 and the first part of the chapters, they skipped a lot.
Yeah, I can see that. I feel like
Yeah, they skip a lot.
they don't.
And then
Mhm.
it's very fast paced.
Yeah.
Like the way they make it on the anime.
I feel like it's only probably be like a season, maybe 2 if they're lucky. In all honesty.
Oh, is it done?
No, it's not done at all. Oh
It's
my
not
god,
done.
I told you, literally 1 chapter a month. In a year, I
that's
get
true.
12 chapters.
That's true.
So it's just ridiculous.
But yeah, again, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you guys. It's been fun.
But besides that, see you guys next week.
All right. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.